King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of your Scottish podcast. I am your host, Arran, and here's my trusty co-host, Alex. How are you, Alex?
I am doing not too bad, Aaron.
Good.
Thank you very much.
It's very different this evening because obviously myself and Craig, we would normally do a wrestler podcast, but obviously because with Craig's working, that his working times have changed, so we decided myself and Alex would just come on and chat about all things wrestling. So let's just shoot the breeze and go from there. But I do want to say, before we do start, because I was there last night, a very well done to Steve Clark and the boys for actually getting us to the World Cup. So last weekend, I was actually at my first W3L show. And I thought it was a really, really good show. I'm trying to pull up my notes to find everything to remember what's going on, and so I don't bugger up anything here. So obviously, it's the first time I've seen a lot of these. Some of these guys I've seen before because they've wrestled in other companies or whatever. But to actually be at W3L and see a show and actually get to see Chris Renfrew back in action again as well was really, really good. So the first match was Hera versus Tate, and Tate was accompanied to the ring with obviously the Jackal and the Tormentor. I thought it was a really good match. There were some spots that I was thinking, oh, that's interesting. And obviously Hera's strong and everything else, and I'm thinking, oh, where we're going here with this. But obviously, because the commune were there and everything else, there was involvement from them outside, so the match ended in a DQ, and obviously Hera won the match. And then we get Mr. Tim Strange versus the Bulgarian Baker. Oh, mate, this. Oh, wow. First time seeing Bulgarian Baker live, right? I've seen Tim so many times as well, right? And Tim's brilliant at what he does within the ring. But him coming out with his mask and everything, his croissants and his bread, and everybody's shouting, "We want bread! We want bread!" And got the crowd hyped and everything else. Threw the croissants to different sides of the crowd. And then he tries to go and use the baguette as well, and try to put it like a jobby jabber to Tim Strange, which I thought was pretty funny. Obviously, Tim gets his cowboy hat on, does rodeo time, but then he had the Bulgarian Baker obviously had like a glove to say that he was a baker, like an oven mitt, sorry. And Tim goes to go and do the rodeo, and it didn't work the way, but I thought it was just brilliant. Good to see a guy that I haven't seen wrestle before, and obviously the Bulgarian Baker won the match. Third match of the evening was obviously Johnny Storm versus Chris Renfrew. And you know what? This has been the second time I've seen Johnny Storm live. And to still be able to go in the ring at his age is just something else. Yes, he had the crowd behind him because obviously he's a face. Like Renfrew comes out, and me and Craig were doing NAK signs and stuff. And he comes out, he's got a chair with him. And I'm thinking, it's not no DQ match. How the hell is he going to try and get this involved in the match? Because obviously it's Renfrew, we know what he's like, and stuff. And then there was at one point he did try to use the chair, and the referee grabs it off him and is like, no. Obviously Johnny Storm gets the win. Then we have the halftime interval, and during the halftime interval, obviously Johnny Storm was the photo in the ring, like what they do at most promotions. I thought it was really good to see that, and folk getting their photos. But then there was I missed how it happened because obviously I went to the bathroom and came back, and by the time I came back, Renfrew was in the ring attacking him. And I was like, wait, what the heck? So I'm thinking, because obviously you'll be able to touch base more on it, because I'm sure they were involved with Valor as well. So I was like, oh, right, interesting. Then we get the Showdown title match. Obviously, Iron Drew Marshall is the champion and versus Judge Jimmy James. I thought because the judge was playing a heel and everything else, and they've got him and Iron Drew do have history and stuff like that, and I thought, and like all his family, like Iron Drew's family were there and stuff, and they were getting behind him, and we were also getting behind him and stuff as well. And I thought this was a really good match. There's times like when it was out the ring and Jimmy playing the total heel that he is, getting in front of his family and saying, "You want me to send them to you?" and stuff. And then obviously before we got to the main event, after it, him and obviously Iron Drew like both got on the mic, and Judge said, "Look, oh, you doubted yourself, blah blah blah. You thought you'd never be able to come up against me and stuff like that." And I'm thinking, me and Craig are like, "Is there going to be a show of respect, or there's going to be a turn here, right?" And stuff. The fact that he went off, chatted away, said what he said. Iron Drew then chatted away and said that he thanked his mum and everything else, and then it was what made that match is what made him and Judge. They do the show of respect, and Judge says, "Go and run with this and run with it wild." And obviously, Iron Drew thanked Musso for putting the trust in him and putting the belt on him. Then we get the main event of the evening, which was Team W3L versus the Commune. It's 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination style match. Now, we were speculating who they were because it was announced before the match who the Commune's team was. Like, you've got the Jackal, you've got the Tormentor, and you've got all of them. And obviously, we didn't know, because obviously with Sammy Sparks being out injured and stuff, we didn't know who the fifth member for, well, the fourth before they added the Hera to the team. And we were sitting thinking, Greg's like, bet it's going to be Sammy, because you'll just fight injured anyway. And I was like, okay. And then Buffer's music hit, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then because obviously with the Commune, because Kate was already out there, they basically decided, well, because she's a female, we'll get Hera. So Hera was with Team W3L. Now, it was obviously Mike Musso, Fulton King, Shaquib Ali, and Buffer with Hera versus Luke Aldridge, Looking Sharp, the Tormentor, and the Jackal with Tate. Oh, I love LKS. He is brilliant as a heel, and because he was just giving it to the fans, just going and giving us all the finger and stuff, and it was just brilliant. I think it was at one point Greg shouted, and I think I think Lou knew it was Craig that shouted the stuff to him and that. So, like I was watching, I was thinking like what, because obviously it was elimination style. I wasn't aware of this at the time, and I'm watching it, and me and Craig looked and went, "That's 1, 2, 3," and then Fulton leaves, and then it's 1, 2, 3. Luke gets DQ'd, and I'm like, okay, this looks like it's elimination style and stuff. So that was that. And then obviously Shaquib Ali got eliminated for Musso's team. Then the Tormentor got eliminated for the Commune. Buffer was next to then get eliminated. Then the Jackal got eliminated from that. So it came to the point that Musso was on his own, but he had Hera with him. Obviously, Looking Sharp won the match for his team, but obviously Hugo's music hits. Hugo comes out and says what he says, does the curb stomp, and then he goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter, I've got Hera." Hera gets in the ring, and me and Craig were sitting there and says, "She's a way to turn on him. She's an absolute way to turn." Next minute, low blow, and then it's he gets the 1, 2, 3. All in all, for my first W3L show, I thought it was a really, really good show. There's stuff that you knew was going to happen, but there was stuff as well that I was really excited about because it was my first show, and it was great to be able to see. And then obviously you get after you interact and that, so it was great to also be able to get photo with Chris Renfrew as well. I don't know when my next W3L show will be, obviously, but I can't actually wait to get the next one. And it was nice to actually see Buffer back in W3L. So your thoughts on Valor, my friend, because you were at Valor at the weekend then?
Yeah, well, Valor's always never disappoints. Every show is better than the last. Um, Now, we do kick things off with the VIP bonus match for those that get in for early entry,
Yeah.
which was between Johnny Presley and Reese Howlett.
Okay.
Well, so Johnny Presley is like the luchador version of Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
He brings some humor to it. Um, and obviously, Reese being the heel that he is, did very well. But Johnny Presley came up with the win by pinfall.
Nice.
Um, and the official opening match to the Wrestle Gear Solid was the Fatal 4-Way match between BT Gunn, Mikey Devine, Johnny Storm, and Buffer, with Sean Moran being the referee for this one. Now, we all know Sean Moran and Buffer have a year-long history, and we knew that was something was going to happen between the two of them at some point during the night. The Fatal 4-Way match was a really good match. BT Gunn picking up the win. And then Buffa decides to confront Sean Moran. And afterwards, Sean Moran just grabbed the mic. Go, you know what? I'm sick of your shit. Last time I pinned you, I got you suspended. And Buffa was still kicking off in the ring. And then we come to Frank of the Cross Open Challenge, which was answered by Tommy Lockhart.
I love how he comes out, the way he comes out, like how he's adopted that. If you know what I mean, the gimmick. He does it so well.
Because it basically comes out to the Greatest Showman dressed as the Greatest Showman.
Yep.
But it's the way he came out on Sunday night. Obviously, his music hits, but he doesn't appear.
Oh, that's interesting.
And after his music gets cut off, all you hear is a voice going, Frank. And Frank's in the ring go, that you, God? Could anyone else hear that?
Wow.
Then you hear Frank again. And then it took us a couple of minutes to figure out where Tommy was.
Okay.
Tommy was actually at the top of the stairs when we come down.
Okay.
And Frank just runs up, fight kicks off, and basically they battle around the ring, they battle through the crowd, which has its moments. There was a few hilarious moments during that match. But they end up, Tommy Lockhart picks up the win.
Nice.
And then we come to Iron Drew Marshall versus Mike Musso. Now, we all know the stuff that Iron Drew comes out with is probably the funniest kind of shit you'll hear on a wrestling
100%.
show. And with Drew being Drew, it's just, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he had the whole venue in stitches.
Wow.
But it was a fun little match. I wouldn't say it was the match of the night at this point. But I was expecting Mike Musso to win this match. And surprisingly, Iron Drew picked up the win in this match. Yeah. And then we come to the halftime main event, the dog collar match between Crowbar and ECW Original, the Pitbull Gary Wolf. Now, this match was a really cool match. Because obviously you had Crowbar with Eastern Block. Because when he came into the ring, for him to get the dog collar on, he looked like he was scared
Yeah.
when he's getting it on. But it did take a couple of minutes to get started after the collar was on. Also, with Gary Wolf, ECW original, he did exactly what we were expecting of him. The guy is phenomenal. After all these years, he still got it. And even when the Eastern Bloc tried to interfere, Crowbar kicked at the ropes and goes, I want to do this myself.
Goes you the way.
Yeah. So you had Jan Islav and Patrick ringside, and every time they tried to interfere, Crowbar stopped them and go, I'm doing this myself, I don't need you. And the end of it, I wasn't expecting the way it ended.
Okay.
Because I was expecting Gary Wolf to pick up the win, but Crowbar picked up the win by pinfall. And then after Crowbar had won the match, the Eastern Bloc attacked Crowbar.
It's interesting. Not something I think I'd see, like, because they're meant to be a team.
Yeah. Neither did I, but I knew something was going to happen after the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Gary Wolf get back up and also chased the Eastern Bloc off, Crowbar then announced his retirement from professional wrestling.
Oh, holy shit! Wow.
Yeah, I think it's basically due to the way he is at the moment with the state he's in, with the amount of injuries he's had,
Right. Okay. Okay.
and it's taking a toll on him.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
And even Gary Wolf tried to get him to do one more match and get the crowd chanting it, and the crowd were chanting it, but I don't think Crowbar was up for a one more match.
Fair enough.
But at the same time, it is sad to see that kind of wrestler hang up his boots.
Yeah.
His Crowbar is phenomenal, and he's one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. And after that, we get the halftime break, which involves a photo op with Gary Wolf.
I'm sure you took that up. I'm sure you took that.
I took that up. I took that up. I was not passing that up.
Yeah.
Even though he had his hand around my neck, I wasn't complaining. I wasn't complaining.
No, definitely not, man. Definitely not.
And then once the break was over, we get Casey versus Astrid Day. And I believe this was meant to be Brody Adler versus Penelope Grace in the last woman standing match.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Due to Brody Adler falling ill, she couldn't make the show. So we had Casey taking on Astrid Day, which was a quick match.
Oh, really?
I think it lasted about 3, maybe 4 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Casey picking up the win against Astrid, and then she gets the mic and says, I'm not done yet. I want the baddest bitch in this ring.
And then I'll pick it.
So basically setting up a issuing an open challenge.
Yeah.
And the person that came out was Penelope Grace.
Yeah.
Now this match was a little bit longer than the Astrid Day match, but it was a good match.
Yeah.
Penelope Grace picking up the win. which I think she definitely deserved in that one. But I think the last woman standing match will still happen at a later date.
Okay.
And then we go on to the triple threat match between Tim Strange, Fulton King, and G King. Now, we all know Tim Strange. The guy is hilarious.
No matter what, man. Honestly, wow.
Yeah. Even when he does the rodeo, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And at one point during the match, he went to do the rodeo, but he'd lost his hat.
Oh, no way.
So he borrowed the cameraman's hat
Oh,
and did the rodeo with someone else's hat on.
man, that is class. That is class.
So there was a lot of funny moments during that match, especially with G King, Tim Strange. And by the end of the match, Tim Strange had picked up the win.
Right, okay.
And after that match, we get the referee, Sean Moran, getting attacked by Buffer,
Then?
which then leads to a match between the two of them. Same stipulation as last year. Loser gets suspended. Now, I'll give it to Sean Moran. As much as he's an amazing ref, he's not only funny, but he is a hell of a wrestler when you see him in the ring. And unfortunately, Sean Moran didn't win. Buffer picked up the pinfall.
So he's suspended then?
So, like the stipulation says, loser gets suspended, and unfortunately that person is Sean Moran. And he just sat in the ring saying, "I'm sorry I've let you down, everyone."
Wow.
And now we come to the main event, the barbed wire Taipei death match between Chris Renfrew and Lou King Sharp. Now, this for me, by far the bloodiest, the most violent match I have ever witnessed. Because you name it, it was used. They had like a mini bat with a lot of those wee white bangers stuck to them.
Yeah.
They had another one with cocktail sticks stuck in them. Barbed wire chair. Also, the barbed wire was around the ropes.
Yeah. So I get why they've left that match to the end, because they've obviously had to get the stuff ready and stuff. So
this match was barbaric. Barbaric.
Nice.
Because we all know the rules of the Taipei deathmatch.
Yeah.
Each wrestler comes out with glass on the back of their hands.
Yep.
Like I said, this was by far the best match of the night.
Wow.
Just the way it was executed, the way it happened, basically, and the weapons that were used. Holy fuck! And even the big skewers you use for the kebabs.
Know them well, mate. Know them very well.
When they were embedded in Lou King Sharp's head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm not just talking any part of the head. I'm talking your forehead.
Oh, fuck me. Wow. Wow.
But I don't even know who lost the most blood in that match. It looked like it was even with the amount of blood that was lost. But Lou King Sharp did pick up the win by the end up. And I think that's about it. I mean, from start to finish, show was amazing.
Honestly, Val shows are
to disappoint anyone.
Yeah. Man, I've been to, I think, a couple of Valor shows, and honestly, wow. It's the time that I've been to them, it's just, it's frightening, eh? It's really,
Yeah.
really frightening to see they're not afraid to push the envelope a little bit, if you know what I mean,
Oh
and
no, I mean we've
stuff.
had a street fight where Lou King Sharp get put in the back of a taxi.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. It's just, mate, it's phenomenal the work that he's doing with Valor. And the fact that they're going everywhere just now. But I think they've got a show in Mexico sometime as well, or
Oh yeah.
whatever. It's frightening to think what's going on. So before we came on and came live, so obviously myself and Craig and the wee man in that, we go to Saltire Championship Wrestling. So Brian D made an announcement just after 6 p.m. to say that KOE versus the Iron Kings. And this is for, it's like winner takes all. So it's for the ICW Championships and the Pro 2 Tag Championships. Now, this match will take place on Saturday, the 29th in Virgownie at Phil Hall. Um, Anybody who wants tickets could go on to ringsideworld.co.uk and you can buy tickets for the show. And matches announced for the card for that so far are we have the Next Gen tournament, which is obviously Sam Taylor versus Danny Clark, which I think will be a very, very good match. We have a number one contenders match for BT Gun. It's a World Heavyweight Championship. So it's Hunter Sampson versus Tommy Cartel in that match. We have a 6-pack challenge contest. So it's Andrew Marshall versus Colton Davis, versus Mark Monroe versus Luke Aldred versus Kid Fight. And the last competitor in that match is Jam Dog. We also have the women's title match. So it's Angel Hayes will officially, because obviously she wasn't at the last show, so she will officially be given her new title because obviously the company's changed names and stuff. So she will officially be given her title. And she will go up against Casey Owens and Erin Taylor. And the main event of the evening is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship match, which will be BT Gunn will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Tez Evans. I am absolutely gutted that I am going to miss this show because I'm not actually here. I do know that Xander Davidson put out a video and he's wanting some demands, so I'm wondering whether these demands, whatever they, because I've not properly watched the video, I'm sorry, Brian, and I know you're away, but I'm sorry, considering I'm plugging your show for you. I have to watch it back properly, but I just don't know. But that's like, looking at it now, they've put out saying, will his demands be met? Now, do you have any, Braun Strowman. Take us away about Braun Strowman.
Yeah. So, as I'm sure everyone is aware by now, Braun Strowman was in talks to become the new Jason Voorhees for the Jason Universe's new movie. And for me personally, I think that could be a good casting choice.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at Braun Strowman, he's got the build, he's got the height.
Yep.
And we've all seen him. He could be an unstoppable machine in the ring.
Yeah.
And now hopefully he could become an unstoppable killing machine if he gets this role.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, bud. I think it'll be, hopefully he does, because it'll be good to see him in a different light and everything else.
Yeah.
I know he's taking a step away and stuff just now, like that, because obviously his knees and he's no longer with WWE, but I do know that I think he has got some form of contract with them where he can do appearances, but he might not be able to fight as much as he would like to, because obviously he's dodgy knees, which is fair enough. Whilst we're talking about people being involved in new roles, Zootopia 2, because that's what it'll be called for us, it'll be Zootropolis in America. Roman Reigns and fish and chips. CM Punk are going to be the two zebras.
And not forgetting The Rock's in it as well.
The Rock is in it as well. And actually, whilst we're on about it, he just announced, what was it, 3 days ago, on his actual X and his own Facebook, the launch date for Moana, the actual
The
live
live
action.
action remake.
And mate, it looked. It's so funny because I sent it to the missus because knew that her and the kids want to see it. I definitely will want to see it as well. But I'm sitting there, I'm seeing it, I'm thinking, no, because there's been a talk of it happening, and I was like, is this real in the head, right? But then because it's actually came direct from the source from himself, and I was on, I can't remember where it was. So I phoned the missus and I said, look, go and get Kira to look at Facebook, and my wife was like that to me, is this real? It says, because I've seen it. It says, babe, it's actually from The Rock himself. And that's why I've shared it, and that's why I've tagged it. And I could just hear in the background, I'm just listening away, and I could just hear my daughter I'm on the, I think it was on the bus home, that's what it was on the bus home from work. And you just hear her screaming away. And what's going to be interesting when they do live action is to actually see The Rock with curly hair. Like, fulfilling that role, if you know what I mean, because we know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, we know, like me, I'm going balls, right? But we know, like, The Rock is actually physically bald, if you know what I mean. So, it's interesting to see, and I know the remake. I'm engaging to see where it could go potentially. Do you have any shows that you know of that you will be going to in the near future?
I don't think there's any shows I'm going to before the end of the year. I think I'll probably end up going back to Valor
Nice.
at some point next year.
Nice. Before we do go, actually, I did notice something earlier because obviously I know Saltair Championship Wrestling have their show on the 29th, but Scottish Wrestling Entertainment, which are obviously based in Dundee as well, they also have their Hell for a Lycra Hangover on the same evening as Saltair, and I think yes, there is the two of the guys that four of the guys that are competing for SWE are also competing for Saltair Championship Wrestling in the same evening. So I don't know how that's going to work. They'll get there somehow, but matches announced for that so far are, let me see, I'm trying to think, because there definitely was one announced and I can't feckin' for the love of money find where it is. And it's going to drive me insane, because they did definitely put something up, because I seen it the other day, and it's, I'm looking through now to find it, and it's going to... See, what will happen is we'll come off this call and I'll find it when we come off the call. Honestly, because I'm sure Scotty's going up against someone. So wait a minute. Right, give me a second.
1 second.
2 seconds, 3 seconds. So I know we're not going out much, but I know we've talked, so we'll just do it. Who do you think is going to be seen as final opponent out of who's left in the brackets? We'll not go too much, but what's happened over the last coming weeks with it, if that makes sense.
Anyone but Gunther, basically.
Yeah. 100%, mate.
I
100%.
think for me,
Yep.
I wouldn't mind Sheamus taking him on.
I'd be happy with that, mate. Because they have history as well and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to find this. This is going to drive me insane. Well, we'll have to patch that because I can't find it. I'm sorry, guys. I was looking to try and fill air and time, but I can't actually seem to find where it is because it doesn't tell you on. Obviously, when you go to Ticket Source, it doesn't tell you about the matches. But I think that event will be a good event. Obviously, Saltair will too, but I'm not here, so it is what it is. These things can't be helped. I think my next show will be after New Year, which will obviously be the Saltair show. I think it's in February. I do know that like between Alba and obviously that match that was announced, I think that's going to be a good match with KOE and Iron Kings for SCWS. So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out with titles going elsewhere and stuff. So Drew Marshall's definitely got a match at flipping SWE, but I can't remember who he's facing right now. Obviously, he's in the six-pack challenge on there. All I just keep seeing is all the stuff from their Hell for Lycra, so I can't see anything more. But do you have anything more to add, Alex, before we potentially scoot?
I'm pretty sure we've covered everything. Nothing really comes to mind at this point.
No, I think what I've enjoyed, right, because I know we'll touch base properly more about it when me, you, and John meet on Sunday about 8ish. What I've enjoyed seeing his last run. I have enjoyed it, and it's like how I would have loved the heel stuff to have gone a bit more than it did. I don't think we got the justice out of it, if that makes sense. But I also think that it was right to turn him back to face, and the fact that the relationship he has with cameraman Stu and how he runs with him to the ring, and it's the fact that I remember it was like when it was his birthday, they did the thing in the ring for him and stuff. So thought that was good. I'm just hoping when Survivor Series comes round that that thing doesn't happen, but I do think he's going to sail into the sunset, and you know, it would be nice for him to leave with the belt, but I just don't see that happening, if that makes sense. It would be
Yeah.
nice, but I just don't see them letting him actually leave with the Intercontinental Championship and stuff. But with it, how they've had the throwback to obviously people that haven't worked there, so it's been good to see the two people that had came back for to face the different opponents. It was good to actually see them. Obviously, with the Macedonia one, because we've touched base on, we've spoken about that. I'm wondering just the fact as well that they created Zack Ryder t-shirts again for it, and they're selling on Euroshop, like on WWE shop, and obviously Euroshop's had a look. Because I was purely thinking about going to FTLO. I'm going to get a Chelsea Green t-shirt, right? But I get the broski one because it looks cool as hell. Wear the Chelsea Green t-shirt. Get get the broski one for the wee man, and I could go in with the Chelsea top, and he could go in with like the Zack Ryder top. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so FTO
Maybe
that.
maybe get yourself a couple of Slagents.
Yes, I never thought of that, mate. I never actually thought of that. But know what? FTO is it's looking so good, man. Obviously that's not until February, but like 30 guests that they have announced. It's just phenomenal. I'm not going to meet all 30 of them because, mate, that'll break my bank balance. But obviously, Kurt Angle is definitely one. Jerry the King Lawler and his partner,
Jim Ross.
Jim Ross, Darby Allin, hopefully, Dustin Rhodes, Samoa Joe, I'm swithering. I'm not 100% sure. Jay Lethal as well. I'm kind of swithering, and stuff. Ollie wants to meet Saraya, so we'll see, and that. But the, the Blue Mini's there as well, actually. You know what I mean?
We all
Shots,
know you wants to meet the blue meanie.
eh?
We all know it's you wants to meet the blue
No, mate,
meanie.
I'm not bothered about him. Like, I would love, because obviously I'm sure she is. I'm sure is it short? Wait a minute, before I fucking make a cunt of myself. Is it Shotzi? I'm sure it is. But what they're doing as well, what's a woman's name? I can't remember right now because they did similar last year with someone else. But also they have like so you've been at conventions and that before. Obviously, I'm not saying that you haven't and stuff, but it just looks awesome what they do. Like, and everybody does them now. If you know what I mean. Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't type. There we go. Full of wrestling page comes up. It's better. Right, so yeah, so they've announced for their because they have the Future Shock show. So they have announced Pelican Marty is in the Invitational Rumble with Connor Patrick Riley. He's also in the Invitational Rumble at the Future Shock show, which is on the 21st of February. Um, keep plugging that. Yeah, Chambers of Horrors duo. So it's scary. Let me see because I'll be able to click so I don't make a cunt of this. Yes, 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 guest tickets. Here we go. Yeah, okay, allow. Right, I'm not bothered with that. Not bothered with that. Yeah, photographs and autographs. That's the one I need. because then it'll give me all the guests. So you've got the duo, you've got the barbershop duo, because the Matty Jannetty and Brutus are going to be there. So I'm assuming they'll have the barbershop set will be there for that as well. Bill Apter, sports person, I have no idea who he is. Mr. Lashley is another one possible. Obviously, you can meet Brutus on his own. So the Inspiration, as they're now called, they're both there, but we know them as the Iconics. So basically, or other name, Peyton Royce, Chambers Hollis, Scarlett and Shotzi. So Shotzi Lockhart and Scarlett Bordeaux. You can meet them both together. Obviously, Karrion Kross is there as well. Christy Hemme, I'm not really caring about her. Darby Allin, Poss, definitely, because Dustin, I want to meet Dustin because I met Cody. Come full circle, it'll be great. Earl Hebner, I'm not so sure. Then you're getting the choice with the ECW originals, or you could get them all separately, like the way they do these things. So you've got Sandman, RVD, and Blue Meanie, but you could get them all separately as well. Eric Bischoff, definitely me and him, mate. There's no questions asked. Jay Lethal, I'm not sure. Lawler and King, I'm just going to do them together because they get the option. They've got the commentary booth. So like they did when I was there last year when Mike Chioda was there, you got the option to go in the ring and Mike hold up the title for you. Billy Kay, Jim Ross, Kevin Nash, Killer Cross, we've already mentioned him, Kurt Angle, Luke Williams from the Bushwhackers.
Oh.
Yep. Mr. Cadona, we've already touched on. Melina, forgot about her. Mr. Cassidy, Orange Cassidy, that's another one. RVD, Samoa Joe, Saraya, and there's more. I'm just going. We've mentioned Scarlett, we've mentioned Shotzi. Swerve Strickland, we've mentioned the Blue Meanie, Great Khali, and that's it. So it's going to be a stacked weekend. And if I remember rightly, I think we're travelling down on the Thursday, so we could take most things in. And obviously, Lana Austin has got her usual Lana Oki as well, and then you've got the cosplay competition. So hopefully, by the end of this week, I will know if Ollie's getting to be Mr. Joe Hendry at this, because that's who he wants to be. So we'll see. Should hear hopefully by the end of the week, one way or another. Because mate, that's what it said when they put it out. There's been so many people that have applied for cosplay. I get it. I have to limit it. I totally get it. So I've got stuff, or the wife's got the stuff sitting in the basket ready to just hit click and pay if he gets the notification to say that he's in. Well, thank you for joining me for this 45 minutes, Alex. It has been nice shooting the breeze about different wrestling stuff. Now, myself, you, and John will be back on Sunday at 8 a.m. No, 8 p.m. I was about to say 8 a.m. Fucking hell, no. 8 p.m. to discuss, obviously, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT from this week.
Yes.
Myself and Craig will be back next Tuesday. And the guest will be confirmed when Craig does the thumbnails. Thank you, everyone who has watched us gibber the biggest lot of crap about shows we've been to, and me gibber about getting excited about going to FTO and stuff. And we will see you on Sunday.